Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine Johnson, and this is my presentation for my research project on the life and legacy of Muhammad Ali. Although most of us know Muhammad Ali as a hero of history, he was not always perceived this way in popular opinion. He was oftentimes a figure of controversy, being outspoken in issues of race, politics, and religion, though his involvement in philanthropic and humanitarian causes allowed him to be undeniably a good character. Born Cassius Marcellus Clay, Jr., he grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. He began his boxing career at the age of 12 after someone in the neighborhood stole his bike. He reported the theft to police officer Joe Martin, vowing to punish the thief and get his bike back. Martin was also a boxing trainer and took note of Clay's spunk, suggesting that he take a few lessons from him first. Martin began training Cassius, and 6 weeks later, the boy won his first boxing match. Recognizing Clay's innate talent, he began featuring Clay on his local television show, Tomorrow's Champions. Fred Stoner, a local African-American boxing trainer, taught Clay the science of boxing and how to move with the grace and ease of a dancer in the ring. These techniques would soon define Clay's unique boxing style and set him apart from all of his contemporaries and opponents. Over the next few years, Clay went on to win the National Amateur Athletic Union Championship twice and earned 2 Golden Glove titles before heading to Rome for the 1960 Summer Olympics. Ultimately, Clay took home the gold medal in the light heavyweight division for the United States by defeating the highly contended 3-time European champion from Poland. This victory led to a history-making management contract with a group of businessmen who called themselves the Louisville Sponsoring Group. Many of the members of the LSG were leaders in their respective markets and fields, and they all had their own sources of wealth. The LSG aimed to set a new standard of prize-fighting practices, one where the boxers weren't left bankrupt and exploited at the hands of their backers. They provided Clay with an all-expenses-paid training program and surrounded him with a positive support system. As previously mentioned, in addition to his entourage and extreme dedication to his craft, another key to Clay's success was his unorthodox boxing technique and style. His boxing style mirrored his lifestyle, unconventional, but it worked for him. He was guilty of breaking almost every traditional technique, which made him an especially difficult opponent. He went on to win his first 19 fights, earning him the opportunity to fight for the heavyweight title in 1964. Cassius Clay's first heavyweight title contest was against the reigning champion Sonny Liston, who was 10 years his senior. Clay had earned the nickname the Louisville Lip for his notorious habit of taunting his opponents before matches and showboating for the press. This fight was the origin of the famous "float like a butterfly, sting like a bee" line. He told Liston during weigh-ins, "Your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see." Clay was crowned heavyweight champion of the world when Sonny Liston failed to return to the ring for the 7th round. As the Louisville Lip, Clay's unique style of boasting, rhyming, and expressing confidence brought him considerable media attention. He's oftentimes regarded as the godfather of trash talk. This proved to be beneficial for the various media outlets and fight promoters who took note of the fact that Clay's antics led to a boost in American interest in boxing. The young boxer had managed to breathe new life into the sport. He's also credited as an originator of hip-hop music. Chuck D of rap group Public Enemy praises the boxer as an unsung influence of the musical genre. Immediately following his heavyweight title victory over Sonny Liston, Cassius found a way to make headlines outside of the boxing ring as well. On the morning after the fight, he announced at a press conference his conversion to the Nation of Islam and his change of name to Cassius X, following in the footsteps of his friend and mentor civil rights leader Malcolm X. The NOI is an African American separatist group that began to gain popularity during the 1950s and 60s with its message of racial independence and black pride. During this very racially divisive time in American history, Clay's decision to align himself with the NOI was one of great contention. Days after the press conference announcement, Elijah Muhammad, leader of the NOI, bestowed upon Cassius the new name Muhammad Ali. Ali told the press that he would no longer identify with the name Cassius Clay, as it was a slave name. This statement spoke volumes to Ali's fellow African Americans, whether or not they agreed with the ideologies of the NOI. Ali became a symbol of black pride. Ali was back in the controversial spotlight during the Vietnam War. In 1966, he was drafted to fight. He notified the U.S. Armed Forces of his refusal to serve on the basis of religion, quoting the Holy Quran. This decision came with major consequences for Ali, as he was arrested and stripped of his boxing license and title as heavyweight champion. Ali was found guilty of draft evasion and sentenced to the maximum 5 years in prison and $10,000 fine. Fortunately for Ali and his family, he remained free while his lawyers appealed the conviction. Another result of Ali's refusal to serve was the decline in his mainstream popularity. Many Americans considered Ali a draft dodger and saw his decision as unpatriotic. Well aware of the repercussions, Ali remained unwavering in his stance. Banned from competing in professional boxing, he occupied his time by booking engagements at college campuses to speak out against the war. As popular opinion turned, Ali began to regain public support. When Dr. Martin Luther King came out against the war in Vietnam in 1967, he quoted Muhammad Ali saying, "We are all black and brown and poor, victims of the same system of oppression." When Olympic athletes John Carlos and Tommy Smith raised their fists on the medal stand in Mexico City, one of their demands was to restore Muhammad Ali's title. Ultimately, the draft case went to the U.S. Supreme Court, which overturned the original conviction in 1970. In returning to the world of boxing, Ali was in hot pursuit of reclaiming the title. The 1972 title match was held in Zaire, presently the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The fight was nicknamed the Rumble in the Jungle. Ali pulled out a new technique from his bag of tricks, his rope-a-dope strategy, leaning on the ring ropes and absorbing a series of foreman's blows while waiting for him to tire out. The strategy proved successful, and Ali won in an 8th round knockout to regain the title stripped from him 7 years prior. This afforded Ali the opportunity to defend the title against Joe Frazier once more at the Thrilla in Manila. It was a relatively even match until Frazier's eye was swollen shut in the 14th round, giving Ali a competitive edge. At the sound of the bell for the 15th round, Frazier's trainer was forced to relinquish on his behalf. Ali remained the heavyweight champion until 1978, when he would lose it to Leon Spinks, only to regain it a year later. In reclaiming his title from Spinks, Ali made history and became the first ever 3-time heavyweight champion. In 1982, Muhammad Ali officially retired at the age of 39 with a career record of 56 wins, 5 losses, and 37 knockouts. He now took a more personal interest in politics and committed himself to a mission of service and philanthropy, using his influence to help others. 2 years into his retirement, Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a neurological syndrome that affects one's control of their muscle movement and speech. Although this took a physical toll on Ali, it did not dampen his spirit. He set out on a new venture to become more involved in politics and international affairs. In response to the rampant spread of Islamophobic ideologies and practices in America, Ali took it upon himself to use his public influence to speak out and represent his religion accurately. Throughout his professional boxing career, Ali garnered multiple accolades, awards, and recognitions. In 1970, he was awarded the Martin Luther King Memorial Award for his impact as a civil rights activist. Towards the end of his career, in 1979, a street in his hometown, Louisville, Kentucky, was named after him. Ali's countless honors highlighted his legacy as an athlete, as well as his political, social, and philanthropic contributions home and abroad. He even has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. At the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, Ali was honored with the opportunity of a lifetime, the chance to represent his country once again and light the torch during opening ceremonies. It proved to be especially difficult to keep a steady hand as a result of his Parkinson's, but Ali prevailed in front of an adoring crowd. By the end of his life, Ali had become one of the most celebrated and decorated athletes of the 20th century. Ali's most enduring social impact came in the form of his community center, located in his hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. In November 2005, he founded the Ali Center, a $60 million nonprofit focused on serving the local community and its constituents. The center offers a number of services such as youth programming, professional development, and social engagement, guided by the 6 core principles of confidence, conviction, dedication, giving, respect, and spirituality. Muhammad Ali passed away on June 3, 2016, at the age of 74, leaving behind a legacy that will not soon be forgotten. While he defined an era of professional boxing, he also inspired ripples of change in multiple areas of American society. He served as a living example of what it means to use one's public platform for the greater good.